Damn it, Sadie! You're too likable for me not to enjoy any episode where you have a prominent presence. Now that being said, a lot of this episode was fluff to take up time and hit that 11-minute duration. And while I wouldn't call it tedious, at times the interactions of the group fell more on the bland side while Sadie was off screen. When Sadie isn't around, every single human character should constantly be asking, "Where's Sadie?" And I'm only half joking about that. I feel like this episode causes anybody who's held a job to have some self-reflection. I've never necessarily been stuck at a dead-end job I don't enjoy, but I've certainly held part-time dead-end jobs to make ends meet where I wasn't fond of going to work after the initial novelty ran out. I've left jobs before once they started to frustrate me or make me feel dead inside, so I very much relate to Sadie's feelings in this episode, though the weight Sadie carried was much more extreme than anything I've personally experienced. Sadie had become numb from the same routine day after day, but the consistency provided by the numbness snagged her into a false sense of contentment with her stagnation. Her job gave her structure and comfort at the expense of draining the life out of her. When a dead-end job starts to mentally drain me, I tend to immediately abandon ship and get the hell out of there. Sadie, on the other hand, sailed that figurative ship for too long, and perhaps largely in part because she used to have Lars on board with her. Even if the job itself was a slog, she got to spend time with him. I'm sure hanging out with Lars counteracted the negative attributes of being a donut store employee. Now that Lars is gone, Sadie was hit with the full impact of how little she cares for her job and how many other potential activities she was missing out on. It's unfortunate, but many of us go numb, forcing ourselves to work jobs we hate simply to make a living. Sadie is still a teenager, however. She still lives with her mom. At this age, she doesn't have to burden herself with a job she hates. At the moment, she is not trapped as a member of the Working Dead. She is there by choice. She can take a leave of absence, or look for a different job she finds more fun and interesting. And I am so glad Sadie cast off her self-inflicted shackles and made the choice of temporary freedom, because the older you get, the smaller the likelihood that you have the luxury to do that. If you have rich parents, you can do pretty much whatever the hell you want, but if you're a member of the working class, the Working Dead, and have to support yourself financially, chances are you can't just willingly leave your job on the fly. You at least gotta plan ahead and find a replacement job first, or a friend with an open couch you can mooch off of. Anyway, all this is to say, I loved the liberating ending. Despite there being a lot of mildly bland fluff to kill time and hit that 11-minute mark, overall, I really liked Sadie Killer. Sadie Miller is simply the best.